Hi, y'all. Welcome back to another video. So, in the newest chapter of JJK, we find out that Ui, I think that's his name. Either way, we find out the little kid, right? He could swap people's souls, right? He can swap people's souls as long as, but the restriction behind it is that it has like both souls have to like agree to it, or both people have to agree to it, or something like that. Either way, I think this could play a part in them beating Sukuna. Now, I'm not gonna say it's going to, but I think it can. Honestly, if I had to guess, I don't think this will happen, but I think it can. But yeah, either way, essentially, what I think could happen is I think he could swap somebody like Fushigoro and like Yuji Soul. Now, I don't think it'd be Yuji. The more I think about it, because I believe he Yuji probably has had two people you learn has probably swapped with two people. We know he swapped with Kusakabe, and I don't know if he swapped with Chozo or not. Because Chozo said if he just consumes his sibling herbs, not if he absorbs his siblings, he could get blood manipulation. But at the same time, I think he might have swapped souls for the reverse curse technique portion. So I don't know. Either way, though, it wasn't specifically said that if he needed to swap souls with Chozo to be able to use blood manipulation, right? So there was that. Uh yeah, but like even if it's not Yuji, right? Because my thing is Yuji would probably be the best outcome for this, right? If they could get Fushiguro and Yuji soul to switch, right? Yuji could probably even if Yuji's soul thing wasn't as damaged as if Sakuda's soul wasn't as damaged as it already was, I think Yuji could take it over. I mean, Yuji was taking over his body. Maybe it's a different body, so maybe that would impact it. But I don't think that would if it was just Yuji and Fushiguro swapping, and Yuji taking over Fushigoro's body. And Fushiguro could go, beat the pressure Yuji's body. But I think it would probably be someone else. It doesn't really matter who it is, right? At the end of the day, Sakuda's soul is so weakened over the body that if you could swap the souls with like fucking even fucking Maki, bro. Like if you could swap like Maki could take over this body right now. You feel me? Like so many people could take over this body. Like I feel like almost anybody can take over this body just because Sukuna has stated himself the control over this body he has is weakened right now. Like he doesn't have much control over this body because that shit, if Fushiguro was to snap out of his bullshit right now, he could probably take over. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's essentially how weak the control is for Sukuna right now. So if he swaps Fushigoro's soul out with someone else's, now the real problem is convincing Fushiguro to swap souls. Would he want to do that? I feel like I don't know. I don't know. I feel like 50-50 on that because maybe he's just depressed and like go away again. Maybe he does some shit like that. But I feel like they can. You feel me? I feel like Fushiguro would just Fushiguro might just accept it. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? I feel like he might just accept it. It's essentially that whoever if they swap souls with someone, I believe they would take over the body, right? Sukuna would be put to rest, his fight would stop, and then they would likely just seal him back into like his figures or just seal him back away somehow. I think essentially that is exactly what would happen if Uyui was to swap souls with someone. I think it's definitely a possibility. Again, Sukuna don't got control over his body, so it's real like if Uyui could do it, bro, and they can pull it off, they can swap the souls. I think it's I think it's I think Sukuna might lose. You feel me? I think that is a way that Sukuna can lose is if something like that were to happen. Not saying it's going to, but I think it can happen. And if it did happen, I do think Sukuna would just lose. Again, he'll probably be resealed away because they're obviously not gonna kill the body. They want to keep Megumi's body alive. And if somebody already did one swap, they'd probably just wait the month and swap them back. And if someone did that, or either way, they'll probably just swap Fushiguro and the person back once they finish like the fight. You feel like once they finish deal with Sukuna, seal him away or whatever they got to do. They could definitely do that. That's definitely something that could just fucking happen. They just wait handle Sukuna real quick and then they'll swap them back eventually. That's exactly what would happen in this scenario. But yeah, this fight. I mean, yeah. I mean, they can't. They have to have a way to seal Sukuna off. I think the angel girl does actually. I think they was talking about that. I don't quite remember, but if she does, then yeah, they would take down Sukuna. The thing is, because you can't just do that with anybody if they can't keep control. You feel me? So at that point, it would have to be you, right? Yeah, you have to be able to seal him away because if you don't seal him away, you're just letting him rest up. Honestly, if we're being like one, he could just retake over the body at some point. Once his soul shit recovers, and two, if he does come back, you're fucked because there's no Gojo the weekend this time. You feel me? But yeah, I think this is a outcome that can happen. Is Fushiguro swap souls with somebody and they could just steal Sukuna off after that. I think it's a possibility. Now, I do think it would kind of be like an underwhelming ending to Sukuna, which is one of the reasons I don't think it'll happen, but I think it can happen. And yeah, that's essentially what this video is about. But yeah, consider subscribing to the channel. I post 4 times a week: Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. It's anime, manga content. So liking the video if you liked it. And peace out.